I'm about to reveal to you what is it about you that make you irresistible to others. What are the qualities, maybe the qualities of your personality, your physical body, the way you are, that makes other feel very attracted to you? Okay, and this is people that maybe just cross your path for a second, a minute there, or people that you're dating. What is it what they admire the most about you? Okay, now in front of you you can see four piles: pile number one, pile number two, pile number three, and pile number four. Take the time that you need to pick the pile that you feel most connected to. Okay, so there's no rush here. You can guide yourself through the crystal, the card, whatever you feel is calling you. Now, once that you have picked the pile for you, you can head to the description box, the comment section. In both places, I have placed already the timestamp for each one of the readings. Okay. Now, also, I want to say thank you very much to everyone that has subscribed so far, that has supported the channel, whether it's through like a comment, giving a like, or subscribing, or being a client. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. And yeah, let's start your reading. Hi there, pile number one, and welcome to your reading. If you picked this beautiful crystal, welcome. Or maybe you guided yourself with the card or the frequency of the pile number. Either way, welcome, and let's now find out what is it about you that makes you so attractive, so irresistible to others. And sometimes it's not even the things that we think that is the most attractive about us. So yeah, let's find out. Okay, so the first card will be either something that makes you most attractive, or like kind of like a message from your angels. And in here, you got the embrace card. Okay, so here is not actually giving me like something specific about you. It's instead telling me, it's revealing to you that what makes you so amazing, you're not even aware of it. Okay, because embrace is all about, whenever this card comes out, is actually telling the person that you're not embracing everything that there is, like the amazing stuff about you. You're not embracing yourself for who you are and this unique person, unique personality you have. And it's like you're not accepting every single part of you. And for me, this coming out for this reading, pile number one, it really tells me that you don't realize how amazing you are in some aspects of your life. And I feel like this, you could have maybe trouble understanding why people feel so attracted to you or pull towards you. And I can also tell that you have a very unique, maybe quirky personality, or there's something that you feel like is not necessarily like copy and paste. You know, like how like whenever there is a trend, there's also like a lot of people that follow it. Whenever everyone had straight hair, everyone had straight hair. Whenever like makeup was in a specific way, everyone does it the same. And it's like you feel accepted by society and you blend very easily, right? But for you, it's like you don't, I feel like you're very unique, you're very quirky, like and I feel like you don't give yourself enough credit for that, to that being actually what attract others, because I feel like maybe you feel like that is what push other people away. Yeah, and I feel like for you, your angels are already saying that there are parts of you, aspects of you that you may not embrace fully, and those could be even like those that do attract a lot other people towards you. And this could be like personality or physical traits. Like there could be things that you're not comfortable with yourself, and like your angels are also telling you like this, you should embrace the entirety of you because it makes you you. Okay, so let's see as well, like what is it about you that really makes you so irresistible to others? What is it, something that is the people feel so attracted towards you? Okay, so we already got a card here of, hopefully you can see it properly, illusion. So this is the moon card. Um, okay, can you give me... So here, this is interesting because I feel like people really like the rawness, like how real, how raw you are. You don't hide yourself, unlike, like I said, like you may not embrace every aspect and facet of who you are as a person, but I feel like you're very transparent on your fears, on what, of showing weakness, I will say, okay? And because a lot of people, including me, I don't feel comfortable with showing weakness. But I just feel like for you with this whole thing is like you don't mind putting yourself out there. You don't mind being vulnerable, and you're not as scared of, I feel like, difficulties or things that, when things are unsure, and a lot of people that really intimidates them, taking risk, like jumping into a black hole and you don't know where it's gonna take you. Like you are the type of person that dares to do it, and not necessarily, I don't think it's because out of bravery. It's just that you feel like that is out of authenticity, or like how could you ever suppress what you feel, or what who you are in, or like what you feel like doing, right? Not like who you are, like what you feel like doing. And I feel like you are very human, you're very like real. That's something that people really enjoy, like they really feel attracted to you. Another thing here, it's really interesting with this Six of Cups. It's like when people are around you, they feel very connected to you. Like you make them feel like, okay, you know that feeling when you were a kid and you know that you're safe, like you don't have to worry about too many things other than maybe your homework. And that feeling is not there anymore because as an adult, you have to take care of everything. Well, it's like you bring that feeling of like everything is fine. You bring that feeling of like, oh, the all good days to people. Like, I'm not saying that you're like very a home person or like homey or like nurturing per se. It's not that. It's more like, like kind of that thing of like girl next door or the boy next door. That feeling of that person is not hiding anything or trying to be too complicated. It's like just something wholesome. That's how it feels. Like you are very wholesome, and not in the sense of like conservative, because is they're not giving me anything like lets me think that you may be very religious or very like conservative. So I guess that's not necessarily the important part, even if you are. It's more like you are very wholesome. And I also, if you are in a relationship, 100%, like I feel like, if you are watching this and you already have a partner, a lot of you could have been like this person's first love, or maybe you knew them from a very young age, or like, you guys have a past in the sense of like you knew each other for a long time, and you share a lot of memories. Could be friendship, could be, and that's something that they really feel so attracted to you, because you are that, not safe place, but like that loving place, that loving memory where everything felt so right. And so that's why they feel so attracted to you. And this could be like, exes or whoever feels attracted to you. With the Six of Cups, I just feel like people have very like strong core, positive core memories about you and about their time with you. And I really feel like you're the type of person that, it's like, yeah, you create core memories with those people and you don't realize the impact, and like how maybe you were one of the best memories for those people, right? 100% as well with this Nine of Staves. I do feel like a lot of people feel physically attracted to you. Okay, this is one of the cards that I personally like. I know that when it comes out, is like they are physically attracted to you. They feel like sexually attracted to you. There is this like physical chemistry, right? And this is like whether you are in a relationship with someone, so like 100% this person feels that physical chemistry, or you're not even like connected right now to anyone specifically. Like there is that physical attraction, like there's that like wanting, that yearning towards you. um they also, okay, some of you, I feel like not everyone, but some of you have like this thing of like you know everything, and not in the sense of like book smart. I'm talking about like you know the best gossip, like the best, like you can get information from anyone at any given moment. And I feel like that's something that for some reason, like that could be a level of intensity that you have that people like kind of like about you. It's interesting, like I said, sometimes there are things about ourselves that we're like, no, that would not be like something, but they just like how you are always so like aware of other people's like social medias, like lives in general. Like you can find also, you're so good, like you are so good at investigating about other people, other things, like and I do feel like that this is also like if you're in a relationship and you are always kind of on the lookout for them, but not out of like because you feel you're lacking confidence in the relationship or in the connection. It's more like you are always self-aware of where they are, if they need help. Like you're someone who is very self-aware of where everyone is, what they're up to. You're always like kind of, I think, the person that messages the most, or make phone calls, or like is more like on the lookout for everyone in their life, right? So you're like you know that, oh, you know your sister actually is pregnant, or just had her baby, and you're like, oh, what, I didn't even know. So it's just like, or your mom just bought a new car, and it's like, okay, I didn't even know. So it's like you are so self-aware of your surroundings, of you're on the loop of everyone that matters to you, and that is something they really feel like, that is so attractive about you. And okay. And what I was gonna say as well, you have this whole thing of attraction. This is interesting that this came out for you. So definitely, I feel like, you 100% attract a lot of people, and you don't realize why. With embrace, it's like you don't realize how magnetic your personality is to others. I feel like it's the realness. I feel like it's also like you're not scared to share your fears, your feelings. You don't pretend to be like brave if you're not feeling being brave. You have also this quality of like you attract the right timing, the right people to you always. You are very creative, I will say, and you have like this more, sorry, philosophical ideas and way of thinking of yours, and I feel like you are pretty open-minded. Okay, 11th house. Now that this is coming out, I'm getting why I was getting like this quirky vibe of like very unique personality, of like how like maybe you could be, even you feel like weird compared to others, but and you don't feel like you fit in society. And this is why. With the 11th house, this represents Aquarius energy. Okay, I think I have said it so many times already that I find that Aquarius is like the weirdest energy ever. But not in a like, I'm not saying it in a bad way. It's more of like I admire how they can be like, they are called like the aliens of the zodiac, and it's just because they're so unique in their own way, right? And I feel like they don't care for the same stuff that society cares, like what majority of people cares of looks and all of that. Like Aquarius could be like very good looking, but even when they're, you will find a lot of Aquarius that are very good looking, like literally could be models, but they don't care about that. they don't care about dressing a specific way or doing their hair in a specific way. Like they really want their personality to be, like the way they dress to be a reflection of who they are. So if they have a lot of, and they're very creative and they think very fast, so it's like if there are people that are very eccentric, let's say, they would like to wear a lot of colors, even if it's like not even like cohesive or anything. Like they don't care about cohesiveness, they don't care about society rules. So, and the 11th house represents someone who's also really, really smart, really futuristic, Aquarius energy. It's just at another level of mental capacity, right? So this could also, with this, with the with the moon and this 7 of cups, I do feel like 100% you are an overthinker. You are very creative, and it's hard for you sometimes to like set on a specific idea, a specific, like make a decision, and on, like, because you're so creative. I feel like you have 1,000 thoughts at the same time. But that is one thing that people love. I'm getting a bit like of Kristen Stewart vibes, like she's more like like she's an amazing actor. She's amazing at what she does, but when it comes to being like, being in an interview, she doesn't behave like everyone else behaves in an interview, right? Or like she doesn't put herself together like other people do. So I just feel like people can see how talented you are, how creative you are, how smart you are, how unique, how original you are, even in like the most eccentric way. Like it doesn't matter. It's just they can see that, and they see how like, also I feel like sometimes in you can find solutions to things or shortcuts for issues that other people felt like it was such a big issue, such a big problem, but you can find solutions. And I feel like one of the things that people really admire and appreciate of you when they are in a relationship with you is how you simplify other people's life and how you think so like outside of the box. And sometimes your solutions, I will say, I feel like they're not necessarily like good or like morally approved, but you never do it with bad intentions. I feel like I have come to realize that there are a couple signs that even when they do bad things, it was never with bad intent. It's just like they didn't think things through, and that Aquarius is one of them. Okay, I feel also like Sagittarius and Aries are the other two that when they do something and it doesn't like, go through exactly how they wanted it, it was never with bad intent. It's just they didn't think things through. Mainly Aquarius and Aries, I find. Okay, and let me see if there's something else about you that they really like, enjoy. Oh, they're saying like the lengths that you go sometimes to do some things. Like it's even a bit ridiculous to them, but it's like it's so like something that's just attractive of like you are capable of doing this. You're capable of like even thinking of this and be ready for this, and it just doesn't make sense, but they appreciate it so much. See. Yeah, and you go to shadow energies, and I feel like this is the thing. It's like you, because you don't put like a polished front, and that like you're not looking for perfectionism in when it comes to like being good looking or perfect for society. Not good looking. It's like you being like. A fit for society. I feel like you are very more open to your negative energies, to your negative emotions, to maybe the way you eat, the way that you are is not polished, right? But that's what people like, that rawness. And I feel like it's because with the 6 of cups, like you feel people be comfortable around you, and maybe that was like, and that's why maybe with you a lot of people create their like very strong memories and core memories for them, because it could be like a time of for them to be raw as well. And because, when you are authentic, you allow others to be authentic. And I feel like you don't try to be perfect. You don't try to be like all religious, all spiritual, all like, oh, this is like my best version of myself. Like, you're not like that. And people that you attract and that you feel attracted to, that's what they like about you. Okay? They like all the quirks, all the what is the opposite of perfect? Like things that are not like necessarily like well done, things about you, and that is what they like. And the fact that you don't pretend to be like, whether it's your good manners or always showing positive or up positive energy, like you are, I feel like, even at times very pessimist, very like more dark, very more like negative. And for some reason that is what people like about you. Just letting you know. And yeah, pile number one, this is your reading. I hope that this reading, resonates with you. I'm gonna get a couple of initials just to, because there may be people that, I feel like the initials is not necessarily to reconfirm for those that already feel connected to this reading. It's for those that don't feel connected to the reading and they're like, nah, this is not me. But when their initial comes out, they're like, wait, let me re-listen to it, okay? So those that already feel like connected to this reading, don't worry if your initial doesn't come out, because for me, the initial is not, once again, to confirm what I just said, but it's actually to help those that don't feel connected with the reading, because a lot of times we don't want to see things about us, mainly with embraces, like things that you don't accept about yourself. So the letter L, as in Luisa, just came out twice, okay? So really, if one of your initials is L, as in Luisa, that is one initial. P, as in Peter. N, as in November. C, as in Claudia. Those are the 4 initials that they're giving me. It's just as, as if this is one of your initials and you didn't feel connected to the reading, listen to it again. Alrighty, pile number 1, I'll see you on the next pick a card. Bye. Hi there, pile number 2, and welcome to your reading. Now let's find out what makes you so irresistible to others. What are some of the qualities that people really admire about you? And yeah, let's start. You are here because you picked this stone, this crystal. Or maybe you guided yourself with the card. Either way, welcome. So let's look at one of the main things that, people admire about you, or something that makes you very attractive, okay? So the card that you got, group number 2, is pleasure and pain. So this already is quite sensual, I will say. I feel like if you pick this pile, is like you're not necessarily all optimistic person or all negative. Like, you see beauty in everything, in like the good, the bad. I feel like you have this appreciation for darkness as well, if I can say, and that is something I feel like people see that darkness in you and they feel attracted. They feel like she's someone who can find pleasure even in painful moments or even in dark places. And definitely, if you pick this pile, I feel like pleasure and pain is like you have that key to know exactly what will be for each person that you connect with, like what will give them pleasure. Like, I feel like you have that understanding very well. So I'm sure that you have probably some important planetary some important planets in house 8, or like some important activity in house 8, because, or under Scorpio energy, because that gives you that in on the deeds of, like, without even knowing someone, of like, okay, what is something that will give him or her pleasure? Like, how can I take them to that place? And I'm not talking about only like sexual pleasure. It's just like I feel like you have this connection and this understanding of the darkness, a bit more of the pain, and like you, while some people may completely crumble under pain and just make see it as something bad, I feel like you see it as something beautiful, and so that gives you like a bit of darkness, I will say, and like an edge, and that's what people see in you, and that becomes really attractive. Um, You have here oppression, which is the Tower, Six of Arrows, Princess of Coins, and the Prince of Staves. I wonder what zodiac sign you are, because seriously, it's a bit all like you have a bit of everything. I mean, water hasn't come out yet, but I get a sense that you have a bit of a Scorpio for sure, because and a Scorpio is water. But I'm sensing here that you, like I said, you have this more, you have gone through tougher times, and that has made you the person that you are now. I do think that, okay, there's a couple of scenarios here. Some of you come from a broken home, right? Maybe you felt abandoned by your parents, and so I feel like that hurt, you bring it with you. But I'm not saying like mommy issues or daddy issues, it's not that. It's more like that hurt has made you maybe into that the type of person that you want to be, completely different from the example that they set for you or something like that. I feel like there is that sorrow, there is that depth, there is that darkness because of coming from like a broken home or something, like you came from environment that lacked stability. So I feel like then you can be sometimes a bit intense as well. Um, yeah. See, as I'm saying like that, Mars comes out. Okay, so that is one of like that is such a strong planet to have in here right now in this reading, because you are a force. Like people see you and admire you because they know where you come from, or like maybe it's not necessarily a broken home, but they know you haven't had it very easy. It could be like in past relationships, like they know you have gone through hardships, yet there has never been something that could have stopped you in your life. Like you are forced to reckon, and that really excites them, like that really makes them look at you like irresistible. um, I feel like you are, well, definitely also Mars. Actually, Mars in our astral chart, it will tell you about the sexuality, like in the sense of like how is someone in bed, like in the sense of like how generous, or how are you a giver, or are you more selfish, how comfortable you are. And Mars being already in a reading that you have pleasure and pain, I do feel like for you intimacy, it is a very important part of your personality, of maybe of relationship. And definitely I think that that side of you is something that makes people not being able to forget about you, or wonder how would it be to have the opportunity to be intimate with you. um, I see that it's like there is this kind of like I get this sense of like you try to do better regardless of where you come from, regardless of your past experience. And that is something that people admire about you, like you trying to change things. And with the Princess of Coins and Princess of Staves, I feel like a lot of you that pick this pile may be in the beginning stage of you, or of building a stronger economy, or like building a more stable financial situation. um, but with the Prince of Staves, I also feel like, which is the Knight of Staves, is like you are trying to do it in the most authentic way, okay? Because fire being here, like the Knight of Staves being here, shows that you're someone who is very creative, who's very passionate of what they believe in. You're very like excited, and you always need to be in movement and doing something. And I will say like you're very passionate, and the passion is not only like in the bedroom, like you're passionate about your life. You have a lot of vitality. Like I said, you're a force that cannot be stopped. And so I feel like people admire that of you. They admire your dreams of like, because you got plans with this Princess of Coins. Like I see that in this moment of your life, you do have financial plans. You do have like a vision, right? Like you know what you want out of life. I feel like you're definitely not lost. Like maybe the darkness comes from areas of your life that you could not control in the past, or you were not self-aware, but in the day to day you're someone who has the clear idea, clear vision of, okay, this is what I want to achieve financially. This is what I want. This is what I'm gonna do to achieve it. But all of that for you is like at the end of the day, you need to be authentic in the way that you are doing things. I also feel like with Mars and the Prince of Staves, there is a sense of like you do need to shine. You want to also be your own boss. Okay, so maybe you are not your own boss right now, but they can tell like you will be your own boss, like that. Those are your plans, and that ambition that you have, it's something that they find irresistible. Now you also got the Prince of Coins. So I feel like I like how there's so much earth, although there's also a lot of fire, because fire without earth makes someone very impulsive. And I feel like maybe in the past you put yourself in situations that cause you a lot of pain, but also pleasure. And now you have become a more like self-aware person that looks for stability as well, that also cares about values, cares about like, has more of like this moral compass and more like practical plan to achieve what your financial plans, your financial goals. And so I feel like they admire that, because there's so much earth in here in this reading. I cannot say that you're impulsive anymore. Like maybe in the past you were, but now you're someone who's passionate. Passionate is not impulsive. Passionate is like you really give yourself fully to what you believe in, to your authenticity. You want to be creative. You're passionate about things that you care about, right? But in here, I feel like you are that. You're passionate, but you're also being practical, and you have a plan, and you have a lot of ambition, and you're willing to go slower to achieve something that is worth it. So it's like here is the combination of like fire and earth. Really nice. Let's see what else makes you really attractive to others. House 8. Okay, I'm not surprised this came out, because this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm talking about. House 8 is all about, intimacy, sex life. Usually people that have a lot of planets in house 8, it gives them either clairvoyance, right? It gives them knowledge about sexual potential of everyone. Like someone can pass by and without knowing them, they already know what they need. It makes great for therapists and sex therapists as well, intimacy coordinators. So the 8th house being here next to Mars and pleasure and pain, I feel like more than you necessarily being like intuitive and that being something they admire, it's more about like you have this sexual appeal. You're very sensual, I will say. Also, I feel like it's not just your sensuality. I feel like you're a strong woman. You are a challenger, a strong man. Like you are fire, and it's just intimidating. But at the same time, it's like I need to. I feel like this power you emanate, even if you don't have it yet, because a lot of you don't have this power or this influence that you want one day to achieve, but that is just something like you're the kind of person that will achieve it. So that already like makes people like feel so attracted to you. And see, as I'm saying that it's something you will actually be able to achieve, abundance comes out. And I feel like it's people can tell that you're someone who has a very you'll be very successful. And with success also comes financial abundance, right? Doesn't necessarily have to be millionaire or billionaire, but it's just, success is abundance in every single area of your life. Another thing that they admire about you is that for you it's very easy to express yourself. You're very clear when you communicate, or there's a way of like when you communicate, maybe it's the way that you tell stories, you narrate or something. It's just your voice also feel like could be probably very attractive because you got the blue lace agate that has everything with communication, and is it blue, it's the color blue, so that also represents the throat chakra. So I feel like another way that you get people to be very like connected or attracted to you is through your voice. And I should have said this in the beginning, like this could be like anyone that has crossed your path, anyone that has been attracted to you, maybe someone who is currently in a relationship with you, right? So this is something that they feel most attracted to you. You have self-respect and connection. And 100% like this whole self-respect, I feel like this is something you have gained through your experience, because with pleasure and pain is like you have made not so good choices in the past, and you have known darkness, but it's like you're like one of those dangerous people or like very edgy people, but that have chosen a better path now for you that brings you peace of mind. So it's like imagine like getting a Johnny Depp but like sober, with like but the way he looks, the way like this whole like mysterious look as well, very edgy, very confident of himself but sober, like now making better choices and making choices that bring him peace, right? So it's like you get like that person that is so attractive when they were maybe not the best person, but they were like bad, but now they're making better choices. So that's you now, and that's what like is so attractive, because you have both, like you have this light and darkness in you. And you really know how to connect with people. I'll say that. I feel like you're good at reading people, mainly because of the eighth house. The eighth house allows you to kind of uncover mysteries or things that people haven't even said to you, but you already know. And you could also be quite secretive, I'll say. You could be very intense and obsessive sometimes. Yeah, intensity. I feel like passion and intensity are two keywords for you. I'm gonna give you some initials for those that may not feel so connected to this reading, and you need like that confirmation that this reading is meant for you. You have Q as in Quentin, right? Q. Then J as in Julia, F as in Fernanda, I as in Indianapolis, and this is a Zed as in zoo or Zoe. Okay, so Q, J, F, I, and Z. Or Z. Z is, I think we say Z in Canada, but it's Z. And that is your reading pile number one. So if your name or your last name, if you have one of these initials, this is just a confirmation that this is your reading. And like I said, I do this not to confirm to those that feel already connected to this reading. Is for those that may not feel so connected to the reading, and because sometimes there are things that we don't necessarily accept about ourselves, and so just getting our initials coming out is like, okay, never mind, I'm gonna re-listen to this with a more open mind. Okay. And another thing I wanted to say, I feel like you guys are also with the eighth house, you can be very intuitive beings. You could even be psychic, right? And that is something that is like maybe scary but attractive. Like that's how people feel about you. And thank you for being here. Thank you for your beautiful presence, and I'll see you in the next pick a card. Hi there, pile number three, and welcome to your reading. So, you're here because you either guided yourself with the stone or maybe was it with the card. Actually, your group was the only group that had two cards, so we're gonna look at this in a second. I just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone for being here. And for those that don't know me yet, my name is Fernanda and I have a Spanish channel already where I also do pick a cards. And yeah, so let's start with your reading. Let's look at the things that people feel most attracted to. The first card, though, it's more like kind of maybe like the journey that have made you being you and being so unique. And you got two cards. You have endings, and you also have healing. And this red door definitely does represent the endings of tough situations or maybe losses as well, okay? Because this red door endings can always signify like spiritual death or physical death, right? So you have experienced one of those. You have experienced endings that maybe you were not ready to experience yet because they may have come too early in life, you know? It's not normal to lose a kid, right? Because usually parents should go first. Or it's not normal to lose a sibling or someone that you felt so connected to at an early stage of your life. So I feel like here it really like it's not that what they like the most about you is the fact that you have gone through death. It's more or less. It's more about like part of this has made you who you are now. And there are people that do experience endings, but they never actually look for healing, but you have. And these endings already with this Five of Coins, I feel like some of these endings and tough experiences have been like the lack of money, the lack of financial stability, the lack of housing, the lack of maybe it was like a big you lost a job some time ago at a very critical time of your life, and that completely changed you and who you are. And with healing, whenever the keyword healing is there, is like I already know you never went back to being the same. Like you took this as a learning lesson and you change completely from what you used to be or who you used to be. So kind of like this is also one of the things that make you so special. And see, there's a King of Coins coming out here already. So it's like maybe you experience, you know, poverty, or when you were like younger as well, you could have come from like a family of immigrants, right? So that ending was like the goodbye that you had to say to your country, to your friends, to your family members, that it just doesn't seem or feel normal, right? Maybe they're alive, but you couldn't necessarily get in touch with them, you know? Even when we moved to Canada, it's like Facebook was not a thing, right? Instagram was not a thing, like FaceTiming was not a thing, like people that I left behind, there was no way for me to talk to them other than like calling them. But I was a kid, like how could I be calling them? And back then it wasn't like you could call a international number. You had to like buy like a card to like type the numbers and then type the other numbers. It was so complicated, and even more for a kid. So I feel like, you know, I just feel like there could be a situation where it has nothing to do with the death of someone, but more about like you feeling like you had loss, you know, there was, you experienced loss, you experienced being disconnected as well from someone or from a group of people, because the Five of Coins also represents feeling disconnected from others, feeling left out, feeling like you're the weird one, feeling like you're like the ugly dog, right? Like the odd dog that is always being left out, that is not being. Maybe you could even be sick when you were younger, or at some point in your life, your physical body was very sick. This could also mean overweight, could be, right? It's like you try to protect yourself in other ways. So when the Five of Coins is here, this is also talking like the physical body. So this could be sickness, right? Like going through really hard times of like you couldn't do everything that the other kids were doing or other people were doing, or you have been like struggling so much with your health. And for others, this is actually about like, maybe it's more simple, like being obese when you were younger, or like dealing with this type of challenges. But I can tell already with this King of Coins that you have come around. You have come, like, you have changed your life financially, like the way you eat, the way that you care about your body, the way that you view yourself as well, I'll say. And that is something that makes you so attractive to others. That's why you're irresistible with this King of Coins. It's this is earth energy, okay? I'm not saying yet that you are a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus, but you could be. You could have a strong earth energy, but if I sense like specific zodiac signs, I will let you know. And also clarifying, when I talk about zodiac signs, I really only care about your sun sign or your rising sign. Okay, why? I know that a lot of people do it differently. They say whether your moon sign, your Venus sign. For me, your sun sign, if you live in authenticity, it's what will represent you the best, because your sun sign represents your purpose, and your rising sign can it represents how also you present yourself to the world. So sometimes that's why, even though maybe you are a Scorpio, but if you got, I don't know, Pisces as your rising sign, you could look more like a Pisces to people. Like that's how people perceive you. And that's why for me, rising and the sun sign are the most important when I talk about like the zodiac signs that I think you are, as a confirmation that this reading is for you. Okay? Now, another thing as well, I feel like you are a hard worker person with this Eight of Coins. For you, money, time, energy, all of those kind of resources are important for you. And you are someone who enjoys the best things. Also with the King of Coins and the Eight of Coins, I feel like you may not be the most creative person, but and let me, it's not the creativity. You may not be the most artistic person, but you make sure to dress well. What I mean by this is because sometimes people think that when I say, okay, you dress well, you like fancy stuff, I'm talking about like you actually have fashion sense, and that is not it. Fashion sense comes from an artist, being artistic, being creative as well. You could be creative, but I don't see so much like artistic per se. I see more like you are someone who cares about how you portray yourself to the world. You like to dress properly for any occasion. So you're not the kind of person that will wear jeans at a like professional event, right? You're not the kind of person that you will wear, like you go accordingly to the event. You won't be wearing white at a wedding. It's like you're someone who seems to be so respectful of situations, of events, and you like to follow decorum. Like you like to follow protocol, whether it's the dress protocol. Like you're also someone, let's say if you're invited somewhere, you're gonna bring like snack, food, a gift, something. I feel like you have really good manners. And this is also why people feel so attracted to you. With the Eight of Coins, it does tell me you could be crafty, right? You could be someone who's crafty, but crafty is more like when you do things also with your hands. So let's say that you make candles, or you are a you work with wood, right? You're a carpenter, right? So it's like could be that, but that's not necessarily what I'm sensing per se. The most important part in here is that I get that for you, your reputation is very important. It matters to you. With this Eight of Coins, it's like it's not only about how people perceive you, it's about whatever you do to make money, you like to be the best at it. You like for people that pay for your services, for your product, for whatever it is like to, even though you have maybe already won awards or, you know, recognition, you don't stop there. You always want to be updated so you can always offer the best product, the best service, and you're always looking to improve because reputation is everything to you, right? I will also say that I think you are someone who is generous as well. And for you, money is important, currency is important, the currency of exchange, because you see it as exchange. And I feel like you have now a really good connection and relationship with money in general. I sense like a very earthy connection with like how this world works. You are capable of manifesting things into this three-dimensional world. Another thing, and this, the things I'm mentioning is like the way, because it's not the most important parts of you, but is what people feel so attracted to. It's like you are achiever, like you achieve things, you are such a hard worker. For you, like, you have a pristine reputation. I also feel like because of the king of coins and the eight of coins and the five of coins, it's like everything is earthy. For you, you could be religious, of course, you could be conservative. You have very strong values, a very strong sense of what matters to you, what is sacred in life for you. You are more of a family person as well. You got Trump, which is the world. Okay, so another very strong card. And this is, you could be a traveler, like you may love to travel to, and but I get it more as in like this is like the ambition you have. You also have like strong presence. And just people can tell that you're someone who is very or can be very successful. And I feel like the conservative part of you is something that really people feel attracted. So even like people that usually don't look for a relationship or don't look for kids and all of that, they just see you and they're like, that's attractive. Like she or he knows what they want, and maybe that is a boring definition for some, but for you, you make it look attractive. This whole thing of like marriage, and I'm not sure if it's like religious side of you or some of you could have, but because this four of staves is here, it could be more of like for you. You believe in monogamy, you believe in union, you believe in marriage, not necessarily in a church, right? It could be legal. And you believe in like a peaceful, harmonious life. It's like you don't complicate your life as much. For you, I think that you have had a complicated past or experiences, and so you just want your safe haven. I feel like would be financial stability, successful, have a partner. You want to find that partner, and for you it's like the beginning of a fairy tale, or like of a, for you the union is it's a beginning for that new life, right? For others it's not. Like for a lot of people, marrying someone is not the beginning of another life, but for you it is, and it's something that people feel that it's very, very attractive. um you also got Mars, North Node, seventh house. Like I said, seventh house, third house. So for you, marriage and a long-term relationship is important. I feel like you probably didn't have many relationships, or if you had, it's more about like, why I'm saying that you probably didn't have that many relationships is because you don't date for the sake of dating. You're not dating to look for a girlfriend or boyfriend. You look for your husband, for your wife. It's clear here. So that is something that people find so freaking attractive about you, because they can see that for you, you're all about companionship for life. Like marriage is something serious for you. Like you're not thinking of divorce going in. And I feel like for you also, you're more of a homey person. Like you like to stay in, like you're someone who is great socially speaking. You also are great at like communicating your thoughts, your ideas. But With this four of arrows, I feel like you're very easygoing. Like you will, like a lot of times, just rather stay in with your partner, with your family. Yeah, you like to maintain harmony in your relationships, friends or romantic ones. And that is something that is very attractive, even more for people that look for like a peaceful partner, someone who wants to also work in maintaining the harmony in the relationship. Um, there is something else. You may be like very, you may have a presence on social media. Some of you have a presence on social media, others it's more like you shine in your social circle. Like I said, you like to stay at home, but doesn't mean that you don't have a social circle, because some people stay at home because they don't have friends, or they haven't, like, they don't have the tools or develop the tools to, be able to make connections with other people. And that's the truth. But other people are like, they rather stay at home, but it doesn't mean that they don't have friends, that they don't have the capacity of going out and connecting with others. And in your case with the third house, is you have that capacity. You're actually pretty good at connecting and with others and being social. Some of you, one of the things that also make you attractive, this is interesting, could be your siblings. So if you have siblings and they're also very cool, or like something like that, people around you, they feel like the relationship you have with your siblings, or the whole dynamic you have with your siblings, is like very attractive. And sometimes people look for that, like someone who's family oriented, or someone who has like strong friendships. Prosperity, the fact that you seem like someone who understands well how to create wealth, how to be prosper in life, live a prosperous lifestyle, that is something that really is attractive to them. For you, I feel like your money management is something else that it's so attractive, that about you. You offer unconditional love and support. That's another thing as well. And you're like in the good and the bad. No matter what, you offer that unconditional support. And I'm gonna get some initials for you, and this will be for those that may not feel so connected to this reading, but if your initial comes out, this is your angel's way of being like, listen to this again, because there's someone here for you, and maybe you have to listen with a more open mind, okay? So pile number 3, you got the letter K as in Kevin, Q as in Quint, R as in Robert, and Y as in yellow. Okay, so K, Q, R, Y. Thank you for your beautiful presence. Remember to subscribe, to give it a like. If you ever wish to have a private reading, just go to tarotbyfernanda.com, and I will see you on the next pick a card. Bye. Hi there, pile number 4, and welcome to your reading. And let's find out what makes you so attractive, so irresistible to others. What is it about your personality, the way you are, the way you behave, that attracts so much people around you? Or if you have a partner, a romantic partner, right? What is it, one of the things that he liked the most about you? So you are here because you picked this crystal, or maybe you guided yourself with the card. Okay, so let's start with that, actually, group number 3, and you got the third eye chakra. So this is, well, the third eye. This is a very intuitive position to begin with already. Like, this is not a physical threat. This is something more spiritual. This is something about you that tells me that you could be very psychic. You could be like, I just feel like people cannot lie to you. Period. That's it. Like, people cannot lie to you, and you probably have surprised a lot of people with your assumptions of things. Like, maybe you can guess people's zodiac signs, or they don't even have to tell you for you to be like, I bet that when you were a kid, this and this happened to you, or I bet that this, and then they're like, yeah, how do you know? And it's just because you can really go into the psyche, like you can see things that people don't see, or like you pay attention to details that most people, like details that usually go unnoticed. And I I feel like you can sense when people are lying to you. And so this is like, I feel like this could be a quality that can intimidate some people, but at the same time it's like such a turn on, I find. And this card actually didn't necessarily like represent what makes you the most attractive, but something about you that makes you so unique, or of your experiences that have made you who you are now. But with the third eye chakra, this being like that card for you, I do feel like you are very more like psychic. You are much more intuitive. You look into details, into the smallest details, and I feel like you see both light and darkness in people. And with the third eye, I feel like you have to be quite pretty open-minded, because a lot of things that we see goes against what we believe in the world or what we believe in people. So I think that you have that, like that lack of judgment, like we all make a judgment. It's we all do it. Like the judgment means like I have all this information, and this is my judgment about this person. This is my opinion. This is my take about the situation. So I feel like you don't do it right away. You start like kind of analyzing, and then this is why I feel like you really surprise people sometimes with your guesses, because it's like you may not know much about them, and then you can already tell like, you must be a earth sign, and you must this and that, and probably you like this thing. They're like, yeah, 100%. It's like you will be a very good therapist as well. I feel like maybe that it's another thing of yours. Even more, you got Neptune, which is the planet of dreams, ruled by Pisces. And this is also a very intuitive, dreamy energy. So definitely you have like you're psychic, or you have like a deep connection with your dreams or with other dimensions, like astral projecting yourself, astral travel as well, Jupiter and Neptune together. But I feel, okay, now if we focus on like what makes you so attractive, I feel like with Neptune could be your looks, because Pisces ascendant, because your ascendant rising, your rising sign determines your physical attributes, okay? So if you have like a Pisces, if you have a Pisces rising, you have a very dreamy look of yours. Like, seems maybe that your mind is always like somewhere else. You always have like, whenever you look at people, or when people look at you, you have this dreamy like look about yourself, or like you seem to be elsewhere. You may have like very big eyes as well. With Jupiter, which is Sagittarius, as a rising sign, usually Sagittarius tend to have very like wide hips as well, and they may be sometimes a bit awkward when they walk. Like the way they walk is a bit like wobbly, but they have like big hips or very long stretch legs, and it's a bit awkward how they walk. But like those are some of the physical traits that describe a Sagittarius rising or Pisces rising when it comes to like physical traits, right? And I also feel like just the way you are with Jupiter and Neptune, it's like you are a dreamer, you're so creative, and that's something that people see, and you're more like I feel like you're a character from a book. That's how they feel about you. You're someone that comes out like you're the main character from a book that is a magical being. So for you, like I said, what I admire most is universal love. It's like you love all living beings. So you probably, a lot of you can be vegetarian, vegan. You respect really like life just in general. So plants, maybe you are a plant lover. You may volunteer at a dog shelter, or you rescue dogs, cats. It's like horses, for you, it's like all living beings matter. All living beings are important to you. So that's what Pisces is all about, is universal love, not necessarily like unconditional love. It's universal love. I love everything that lives and breathes. I protect them. I see their value, right? And so I feel like that is one of the things that make you so unique, so you, and something that people around you admire so much and they find very, very attractive as well. Now, okay. Your first card here is the Eight of Wands. So I feel like you may be very passionate as well. When, yeah, as I'm saying that, there's a Four of Swords. So I feel like in the bedroom, you are someone who give yourself entirely. You are someone who is very passionate. Okay, I will say that. And I would even say, say that you are unforgettable, and I feel like everyone who has had the chance to be with you in that sense, or just be more intimate, they have realized how passionate you are, and like, it's not just passion. It's interesting because the Eight of Staves is like things that move fast, but with the Four of Swords, it's like a level of peace of mind and tranquility. So it's like, even like maybe for you, when things, people see you, they're like, probably things will move pretty quick, but it feels right with you. It's like you bring passion, but also harmony and tranquility and peace of mind. And I get it because you have Jupiter, which is expansion, which is movement, which is a fire energy, but then Neptune, which is a water energy, Pisces. It flows, it loves deeply. It has, you also have like a high level of understanding and empathy towards other people, and that's something that people do really admire about you, and they feel very attracted to you. I also have this feeling because the Four of Arrows came out with Neptune and the third eye chakra. I do think that you do a lot of travel, astral projection, like you travel in your dreams a lot. You probably have a lot of conversations with people, and I think that a lot of people that you don't even like, you have never dated, but you know them somehow, they know you through your dreams. It's like because you have been in their dreams a lot. Oh, there's also balance, which is temperance in here. And this is beautiful because this is a very like angelic also presence that you have, because balance is like temperance, which is this angelic presence, and it's like harmony as well. I feel like you're very respectful of other people's feelings, but also times, so you don't force others. I think that, nowadays, when we know that someone is not into something, we keep pushing sometimes. And I'm not talking about like sexually pushing. I'm like, sometimes we know that someone does not, want to borrow something to us, but we still ask, right? We're not being considerate to other people's feelings, and there's a lot of people that are not good necessarily at voicing or their opinion or like setting boundaries. And a lot of people, they're not bad, but they're taking advantage of that fact. Like you can tell when someone does not want to do something, is not enjoying something, and they keep pushing, right? Like sometimes, when you're asking a sibling or your parents for something, like, hey, can you take care of my dog for the day? But you know that they don't enjoy doing that, and that doesn't make them bad people, but because they won't say no to you, you still ask. And so that is, something that I feel like you don't do. You really take into consideration other people's feelings, and you like to respect their peace of mind. Like I feel like you don't want ever to put people in a position that they feel abused in any way. And like I said, with the third eye chakra, like a lot of people don't need to voice their opinion for you to already know what's going on. And so I just sense like you're someone so respectful, and that's something that others love. I think you bring a lot of peace of mind. I also feel like you're non-judgmental. You love deeply. You love everyone. I feel like you give everyone a chance as well. So that's so one of the things that, or many things that make you so attractive. Like even me, I'm like, can you be my friend, please? Like this sounds so lovely. Um, Let me see. Oh, and now you got Desire, which is the Chariot. So, okay, I feel like there's a lot of fire and a lot of water as well. There's Sagittarius. Sagittarius came out twice with Balance and Jupiter. So you may be a Sagittarius, but there's also Cancer, Pisces. So you may be a water sign. That will be Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Okay? And then fire sign, I see Sagittarius. And I think about Sagittarius people, if you are, they have a special connection with the divine, just letting you know. A lot of Sagittarius, they feel called to explore the relationship with God or with the divine, with the higher power. The higher power. So they go, Sagittarius, they tend to go through this whole roller coaster of connected to God, then not, then having to explore what they believe in, all of that. That's a very Sagittarius thing. So maybe you have gone through that as well. But I see that you are open-minded, and I think you have a special connection with the divine. And now with the Chariot here, Desire. You love deeply, like you're in love with love. I will also say that, and I think that with Chariot is like, in this case is like you are the kind of person that would cross oceans to be with the person that you love. I think that you're the kind of person that will do like impossible things, fight, and not necessarily fight. It's like you are willing to give up on a lot of things to be with the person that you love, and I think that people can tell that. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, okay. You definitely have water signs in your chart, like very strong. Like you may be like a Taurus, but you must be majority water in your astral chart, or your sun is actually, or your rising sign is Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer, because now you got the Queen of Cups. Okay, you are beautiful. I'm just gonna say that you are beautiful. You're very handsome. There's a Prince of Staves in the bottom, right? So you are beautiful, handsome, gorgeous with this Queen of Cups. You love deeply, you care about family, you care about the, like when you care about someone, you care a lot and you take care of them. You're very empathetic, you nurture them, you have this very strong feminine energy. But it's interesting that this came out, and on the bottom there's this Prince of Staves. So if you are a guy, the quality that I see in you is this strength, this vitality, this masculine energy, this optimism about you, this creativity that you have, ambition as well, but authenticity, I'll say. The one thing, if you're a guy and pick this, you're very, very authentic and you're magical. And if you are a woman, you pick this, you're very nurturing, you're very loving towards everything, and I feel like you feel everything times 100. Like you're very empathetic. Let's see what else. You have balance. So for you, peace of mind is very important, and I feel like that is something that it's clear about you, and I feel like that is also why really people enjoy being around you, because they know that you are very considerate to everyone's feelings and you're never going to cross lines on purpose. You have higher knowledge, for sure. You have a very harmonious energy. And I think that you are someone who, if you ever go through a hardship, you see them as lessons. That's something that they're telling me, and that's something that people can tell, and they're just like, wow, this person is she's willing always, or he's willing always to expand their knowledge and to grow as a person. I feel like spiritual growth is very important for you. I'm gonna get another card for you. These are two. I just want one. And also some initials. For those that may not have felt so connected with this reading, let me just tell you, if your initial comes out, it's your angel's way of saying, like you may not have felt connected, but you need to re-listen to this because there is information about you here. The initials, I don't necessarily do them for people to like that feel already connected to the reading to confirm once again that this is for them. It's more for those that have like a bit of resistance, because sometimes there's a lot of stuff about ourselves that we don't see it like that. Okay, now I feel like you have like higher intelligence, and so you don't force or push things. Like you are at the right place around the right people at the right time. You try not to push situations, although like for love I find that you are willing to a lot, to do a lot, to sacrifice a lot, but you try not to worry about what if, because you know that if it's meant for you, it will come into your life. Now there's a letter initial, there is an initial that came out twice, so this message is really meant for you. Okay, so the letter N as in November, as in Nando's, and V as in Victor or Victorious, Victoria, and C as in Colin. Okay, so those are the three initials that I got for you. Thank you so much for your beautiful presence, and I'll see you on the next pick a card.